Well, they claim that the air pockets are incredibly dangerous. And because of this, you just can't fly. Just to give you some examples here, a turbulent encounter with an Airbus in altitude, blah blah. They use these as examples, arguing that you shouldn't fly at all. They then scare you with diseases. For instance, they scare you with the so-called sudden adult death syndrome. They state that the annual incidence is between 36 hundredths to 1 and 28 hundredths per thousand. So at least 1 in 1,000 people will die of sudden adult death syndrome. They claim this is linked to something, and actually when you're in Allatra, you're scared, aren't you? You're scared to travel. You're scared, for example, that if you think something bad about Danilov, or you want water, that you could suddenly die like that because it's dangerous outside if you're not protected by Allatra. And then another fear with strong solar flares. Here again, eruptive filaments and prominences. That's related to this whole aurora phenomenon. They actually believe that this is something bad and that this is an example of the fact that the planet is slowly burning, that it is self-destructing. Pay attention, that's incredibly interesting. Another one of their conspiracies, the aurora borealis, they say it's caused by oxygen burning in the atmosphere. And because the Earth is no longer protected by the electromagnetic field against the penetration of cosmic rays, well, they're just saying that there are awful things here. It's going to cause terrifying things, just nonsense. I'm not sure if I should read it to you here. I'll upload the document and publish it somewhere. I'll probably create some sort of disk on Allatra to post it, but again, the magnetic field anomaly, now that's a classic New Age conspiracy theory. It's been known for a long time that the magnetic field has flipped several times over the course of the Earth's history, and they always say it will happen now. Then another conspiracy theory about the melting of the glaciers, about why the bees are dying. For everything they create their own individual conspiracy theories. It's absolutely like a joke. It was funny back here. Here's a section when Danilov talks about that strange monument, which was built by supposed Illuminatis and conspiracies somewhere in Georgia. How it simply is in the USA, as it is mentioned there, that there should only be 500 million people.
So what does Danilov say about that?
In Georgia, yes, it is clearly written there that the people should not be more than 500 million. If we had listened back then and have in a truly natural way, that is, without violence, simply reduced the population, taking into account mild eugenics, for example. Well, he wrote a note here, that person, so that the best of us could reproduce, while the others would somehow abstain from reproducing for the sake of the future population of the whole world. Daniel ponders this, but people would have to be reasonable enough for that. But we are all proud, we are all the best, no, we are the wisest. Even the last fool considers himself the wisest. Isn't that true, everyone? Are we vain? In reality, we are just animals because most of us exist based on instincts. What has it led us to?
Perhaps to something good?
I apologize. If we had listened back then, humanity would have had at least another 100 years of existence. Does humanity have another 100 years ahead of it when things have started to say, we only have 30 at most? Think about that. It's quite harsh. Simultaneously, in another program, there's cognitive dissonance, as he says, still, as the complete opposite of things. He says there again that the planet could support much more and whatnot, but they are just totally like junk.